Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of your Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back with my weekly review for this week's episode of The Plague Season 3. This one is going to be for The Plague Season 3, Episode 4, which is called Suffer. So, another week, of course, another episode of The Plague. I'm just kind of playing around with this new background here. Well, not permanent new, but just kind of testing out this background. It's kind of cool with the pops in the background type of thing. But anyway, let's just talk about this episode of The Plague. So I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Where's your fear review?" Trust me, guys, that is coming. But personally, for me, The Plague comes first because I just have been enjoying The Plague more. Does that sound, I think that's pretty darn, acceptable because, to be honest, I definitely would say that The Plague is way better than Fear the Walking Dead. But again, that's my opinion. Yeah, for me, it's not even comparable because it's just, anyway. But Fear review will be coming up very soon. So, I want to talk about episode 4 of The Plague. So, okay, so this episode was really, really, really cool. So we pretty much get now, I would definitely say that we're a quarter way through season 3 of The Plague. So far for season 3, I think this has been my new favorite season. It's been really exciting. This episode, specifically though, this episode really blew me away with some of the stuff that was in it. So let's dissect that. Let's talk about it. So we start off, of course, in the intro. We've got, of course, Anthony and Scott, who are killing the plague people with the 3 bullets. So they actually do manage to kill them off, and then they basically are in separate containers. So we don't really know where Scott goes. Obviously we know he's in another container, but we don't see him for the rest of the episode. So we're going to have to see in episode maybe 6 is what I'm guessing, because based off of the description of episode 5, we might not even see Anthony in next week's episode. So, again, we'll have to see. But on Dead Freak 78, I actually really like, though, how this season you are concentrating a lot on, the other characters. I'm actually liking that feel a lot because you got all these different storylines going on right now. You've got the stuff with John and the others back at the community. You've got Anthony trapped. You've got Derek and his story arc, and you've got so many different story arcs, these new characters that are coming in, like Victor and Diego. It's a really cool season. So, it definitely feels like, the one thing I will say about this episode and the other episodes, it's like, I don't know, man, I had a word for it earlier I was going to say in this video. I'm probably going to remember it as I'm done this video, but, it's very cool how you kind of go, one episode you see this, one episode you see this. I like that a lot. That's a cool feel to it. Because The Plague has not done that kind of stuff before. So, anyway, so they fend off the plague people. They're in different containers. You've got Derek, who talks to Victor about Anthony. So he talks to him about how mad he is about him treating him, like he's, younger than 21, and he's not teaching him how to drive. And Victor's like, yeah, but you still shouldn't be mad at your father. And he's just like, well, I am. So you've got some pretty cool development for Derek. I'd say Derek was the main character for this episode. So, of course, you've got Diego, who is, Victor tells him, okay, go out and teach him how to drive. So then they drive up to this, little, base inside the city. So we get to see the city again, which I thought was really cool. Get to see the cityscape. It's really cool. And of course, they do attack they say it's too close to their, camp, so they're gonna take out everybody in there. So it's only Derek and Diego that are taking out all these guys. So it's really cool because then you cut back to Anthony and Victor, and Anthony actually is able to get out because one of the guys that was coming to get him food, he actually, escapes from that guy. So anyway, so Anthony is escaping. He's outside of the train cart, and Victor's just like, how'd you get out, And he talks to him about how his son, I'm more like a father to him, than you are, type of thing. Because Victor's like, I'm like a father to him right now. So, them pretty much trying to steal Derek from Anthony, and I did like that because that's kind of a interesting feel to it. But we're gonna have to see what's going on with Derek because this is a really cool direction they're going with this character where he's kind of seeing both sides of the story. He's kind of seeing both groups, and he's kind of interacting with both. It's really, really interesting. It kind of reminds me of an Andrea situation from season 3, but I'd say maybe even better, because at least he's not Andrea. He doesn't well, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of interesting what they're doing with Derek this season, where he's seeing both sides of the story, and he's kind of seeing both sides, and he's really trying to figure out, okay, who's in the right here, who's in the wrong. Because right now it looks like he's thinking to himself, okay, this, Victor and his group, they seem like a pretty decent group to get a pretty decent setup and that type of thing. And I could stay here with these guys. So pretty interesting stuff. So anyway, so you've got Derek, who goes out, and then, of course, he tells him how to use the machine gun, because he only shoots pistols. And I really like Diego and Derek, just kind of their interact. It's again, another really cool dynamic, them two, specifically. They had a lot of time, them two, in episode 2, but we're seeing a little bit more of this in episode 4. So, of course, you've got them guys who, you've got Anthony and Victor, who's like, okay, you know what? I will come with you and help you save your son, but you're getting back in the container when we leave. So then it cuts back to Derek and Diego, and the shootout starts. You've got the guys shooting back and forth at them, and you've got them shooting back at them. Flames, just really cool action sequences. And then you pretty much have Derek, who runs out of ammo, and then the one guy that's left, they pretty much cleared everybody, but the one guy that's left says, "Time for you to die, kid." And then boom, Anthony comes up, shoots that last guy, and then he's like, come on. So Derek gets in the vehicle with Anthony, and then they head back to Victor's camp. So as they're about to put Anthony back in the container, you get pretty much Derek, who says, "Can we not put him in a container? He saved my life." He tells him, "Thanks, Dad, you saved my life," And he's like, "I was stupid to act the way I was." So, he's pretty much telling him, I'm sorry about the way I acted, type of thing. So you got that stuff, of course, and then he actually agrees Anthony is going to be Victor's one of his servers, or just something like that. So and then you pretty much end the episode with Diego on there. Is the kid back okay, type of thing. And that's pretty much how you end the episode right there. So I really thought this episode had some really interesting developments. I thought the pacing was good. I really thought the pacing was really strong, and I really liked it a lot. It was really interesting. So in terms of this episode and giving this one a score, I mean, oh man, this season has been off to the best start ever, and I can't wait. I actually, I've been thinking about in these reviews, man, I want to talk about this show more than just do one video and then just kind of wait until next week. I want to do like a Walking Dead thing, where I do some topics, because this show is. It's really, really awesome, and I want to talk about it more than once a week, to be honest. So I might actually do a video on episode 5. I might, maybe read off the name in the description or something. Yeah, I could do something like that. I was thinking about that, so I might actually upload that later on today or tomorrow. So, really cool stuff right there. So, really awesome episode of The Plague this week. Can't wait, of course, to see episode 5 and see, what we're going to see. So, of course, I might actually do an episode 5, next week video or something, where I go through the name and description and, go through maybe some predictions or whatever. So, really, really cool stuff. And again, I want to say, because I mean, it's pretty tough to beat out the amazing, start to, the first season too. The first season, that's a really special season. But season 2 as well. I would say season 3 has surpassed the first couple, the first 4 episodes of each of the 2 other seasons, because this season has just been blowing me away, but just by everything. Because I would pretty much say this is the most difficult season to predict, and that's kind of why I want to kind of do some predictions on it, because it's just it's so unpredictable this season. I almost haven't guessed anything. So I did not think Anthony was going to save Derek in this episode when I was watching it through. I'm like, no, that just kind of didn't come to mind, and I'm like, oh, that's where this is going now. So really unpredictable. So anyway, really cool episode. I want to hear from you now what you thought about this episode of The Plague Undead Freak 78. I say it all the time, and I'm going to say it once again. Awesome, awesome, awesome episode. And I always comment down below just to tell you, because, man, you're doing such a good job with this series, and I just can't wait to continue. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for the review. Thank you guys for watching this video, and like I said, I want to hear from you what you thought about the episode, and I will be back for an episode 5 video coming up really soon, because there is something in the trailer of the season that I think could be in episode 5, and I'm really hyped for episode 5, and I'll talk about that in the predictions. So anyway, guys, predictions will probably be up later on today or tomorrow, depending on how much time I get, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.